To discuss the real-world impact of President Trump's tariffs on small businesses, co-founder, CEO of the fashion house Lafayette 148, Deirdre Quinn. Thank you for coming on the show this morning. Andrew, first, what do you make about the comments to Jerome Powell, what the Fed chair is actually saying, and then talk about tariffs' impact on small businesses?
So what you have, first of all, I don't think we have seen a president publicly take the gloves off this way as explicitly. Yes, he did this during the campaign, but the idea that he's doing this now as the president, that's not to say that there haven't been presidents in the past that have privately said things and done things to try to influence the Federal Reserve. But this is about as in plain sight as you've ever seen. The question is, can he jawbone and pressure Jay Powell to lower interest rates? Of course, Jay Powell has been out there saying that he doesn't think he can because he thinks that there's a persistent possibility of more inflation. Look, there is a fair debate to be had about that. Having said that, I will tell you, I think that the folks on Wall Street right now have looked at, we've talked about this, that the bond market is the only thing governing Washington. If you have a Republican House and a Republican Senate and you have a Republican in the White House, there is nobody else to, quote unquote, govern it all. And right now, I think they look at the Federal Reserve as possibly one of those governors, if you will, that's at least independent.
Yeah.
I imagine he will stay in that role. But the truth is, he's out of that role no matter what in May of 26. So there's going to become a conversation sometime probably in the fall, if not earlier, where you will hear Trump talk about the kind of person he wants to put in that the position. Is the market and the bond market going to say that's a puppet of Trump and therefore now there's no governor on this whole circumstance? Or are they going to say that Jay Powell made a mistake and should have lowered interest rates? And we will see what that debate looks like.
All right. So, Mala, you're going to help me with this and take us through the numbers here. But first, Deirdre, just tell us about your company, how long it's been in business, and what is at stake in this moment.
Sure. Lafayette 148, I found it 30 years ago in Lower Manhattan, and we are a women's apparel luxury brand, and we manufacture in our own facility in China. We're global. We buy Italian fabrics. It's New York design, and it is manufactured in our own facility. And so these tariffs have been such a shock for us. You know, we went from 2 million to 33 million pretty much overnight. And
cost to you?
Yes, just tariffs. And there is no way you can stay in business with those types of tariffs. And I am not prepared. You know, we built a facility of artists to make our clothes, and I'm not prepared to lose my employees, my company. So I'm here to fight before I'm a story and a statistic.
Okay. How many employees do you have?
I have 300 in New York and around the country.
Okay. So let's talk through the tariffs for a minute. So in 2019 to 2024, that was under Biden, it was a 7.5% tariff, right?
Correct.
So that, it's not nothing. Went to 10, went to 34%, went to 50%. Somehow now it's 152.5%.
Correct. It was 145 since February 4th, plus the original 7.5. So it's 152.5.
If you make something, a jacket like the jacket you're wearing, what was the tariff under Biden and what is it now?
Okay, so if, for example, the jacket was $100, all right, it's now to bring it in $250 because you have to pay $150 on top of the 100. So it's 150% tariff. The tariffs cost more than the actual fabric and garment.
Andrew. Here's a question that, look, the president and this administration think that they're going to somehow bring manufacturing back to the United States. My worry is that actually, unfortunately, businesses like yours will go out of business before there's an opportunity to invest in doing that. What would the cost of bringing that manufacturing back to the U.S. be if you could find some kind of transition? I'm just curious to understand it.
We make our denim in L.A. L.A. is awesome at denim. So it's not that I'm limiting what I'm doing. We make our bags in Italy. They make beautiful bags. What we make in China is handmade double face. It is, we built a compound where you're making every single garment. We're vertical. The leather, the knit, the woven, the cashmere, the dresses, the blouses. So you can't just, I'd have to find 30 little factories. My background is manufacturing. I traveled to 70 countries in the world. Went around 11 times in 1 year finding cheaper factories. $100. It's never cheap enough. That's not what I'm looking for. It's quality, not quantity.
Okay, so big picture, the tariff impact on Lafayette 148, jumping from under $2 million in 2019 to 2024 to over $30 million in 2025 alone. First, yes or no, is this sustainable?
Absolutely impossible.
So to the Republicans who actually could vote and turn this around, or even to President Trump, what do you say?
I say that this, to me, isn't about red or blue. It's about red, white, and blue. I want to stay in business. I am a version of an American dream. My parents were immigrants. My partners were immigrants. We built the dream. Don't take it away from us. Please don't take it away from us. Figure it out. We're just business owners. I represent entrepreneurs. I represent small business owners. I'm here to fight for the lives of our businesses before it's taken away. It's just wrong.
Co-founder and CEO of the fashion house Lafayette 148, Deirdre Quinn, thank you very much for putting a face on this story. We've been talking about these tariffs for weeks now, but this is what the result is right here. And again, you have a number of employees depending on the work that you may not be able to give them.
And all our thousands of customers that have been with us for 30 years that love our product and all want to know, are you going to be okay? Well, I'm here to try to make sure we are.